Welcome back to The Explainer. We are jumping right into things today because we're looking at something that is absolutely fundamentally tied to who we are as human beings. We're talking about our memory. We carry our past with us every single day, right? We use it to define who we are. And while we often trust our memories as these perfect recordings of the past, like high-definition video files just sitting on a hard drive ready to be played back, what if the very foundation of how you remember your life is built on something entirely different than facts? Today, we're popping the hood on the mechanics of our own minds. And I promise you, by the end of our time together, you're going to view your own personal history in a completely new light.
But before we go any further, I want you to do a little exercise with me. I want you to just pause. Seriously, take 3 seconds of actual total silence right now to summon a highly cherished, incredibly vivid memory into your mind. Go ahead, picture it. Think about the people who were there, the colors, the whole feeling in the room. You have it? Okay, good. Now let me drop this incredibly provocative question on you. What if the details you remember with such absolute, unwavering certainty never actually happened? What if that crystal clear memory is, well, an illusion? Section 1, that crystal clear memory. Let's dive right into this and explore exactly how this illusion of perfect recall takes shape. The source material frames this perfectly. It says, a vivid memory you cherish, a moment so crystal clear you could practically step back into it. It's such a validating statement, isn't it? We all have these moments. It feels undeniably real. We trust our own minds completely because the experience of remembering feels identical to the experience of living. You feel like you could literally just open a door and walk right back into that specific afternoon from 10 years ago. You can almost smell the rain on the pavement or hear the exact tone of your best friend's voice. That intense feeling of certainty acts as the very bedrock of our reality. But here is the massive disconnect we're forced to confront today. We have that comforting feeling of stepping back into the perfect moment, the total conviction that our memory is flawless, but confronting that is the reality that we are very often recalling details that never happened. This is a huge paradigm shift. We literally have to separate the vivid certainty we feel from the actual factual reality of those cherished details. Just because a memory feels intensely real, just because you can see it in high definition in your mind's eye, doesn't actually guarantee that it occurred exactly that way. Section 2, the incredible storyteller. Let's see how this builds our understanding of what the brain is actually doing up there. So if your brain isn't giving you cold, hard facts, what is it doing? Well, your brain isn't trying to deceive you. There's no malice here. It's simply an incredible storyteller on a quest for a coherent narrative, not a deceiver. Look, human experience is incredibly messy. It's utterly overwhelming. From the second you wake up, you are bombarded by sights, sounds, emotions. Sensory overload is kind of our default state. Imagine trying to consciously log every single blade of grass you step on, or the background hum of the air conditioner. You'd go crazy. We just don't process every single frame of reality like a digital camera because we physically can't. So to make sense of all these chaotic, fragmented experiences, our minds actually function as creative storytellers. The brain leans entirely on the power of storytelling to connect the dots and smooth things out into a narrative you can actually comprehend. Section 3, narrative over photographic accuracy. This brings us right to the core conflict of our explainer. The crucial point to understand here is that the brain actively prioritizes narrative flow over literal truth. It prioritizes a coherent narrative over absolute photographic accuracy. Let's unpack that for a second. Photographic accuracy would mean an exact, literal archive of reality. But think about how jarring that would be. It would be incredibly choppy, full of blank spots, sudden jumps in time, missing audio. The brain hates that. It absolutely despises gaps in reality, because gaps feel confusing, disorienting, and frankly unsafe. So, in an effort to build a seamless and logical internal history, it deliberately chooses to construct a coherent narrative. It wants a timeline that flows perfectly, even if it means sacrificing the strict literal truth to get there. And how exactly does it achieve this seamless flow? By quietly inventing things. To prioritize that coherent story, the brain frequently invents vivid details that never truly occurred. It'll invent specific colors to fill out a blurry scene. It will invent entire conversations or physical actions that never actually took place, just to make one memory logically connect to the next one. Think about it. You might swear on your life that your childhood friend was wearing a very specific red striped shirt, or you might perfectly recall the exact biting phrase your teacher used when you got in trouble. But the reality is, your mind might have quietly created those entirely mundane, yet extremely vivid details just to fill in the missing pieces. It's painting in the corners of the canvas so the picture looks complete. ensuring we have a complete sense of our personal timeline, even if those specific details are technically false. Section 4, your most convincing fiction. Okay, we're arriving at the climax of our analysis here. Taking everything we've learned about the brain as a storyteller, we have to face this profound realization. The past you believe is real might just be your most convincing fiction. Let that really sink in for a second. The memories we constantly reflect upon to define who we are, they're far less of a factual, perfectly recorded archive and much more of a brilliantly crafted story. Ultimately, the past we reflect upon is a convincing work of fiction designed specifically to make sense of our experiences, protecting us from the overwhelming chaos of reality. Which leaves us with this final, truly wild thought. If the cherished memories that make up your personal history are partly fiction, pieced together with invented colors, patched up conversations, and seamlessly crafted narratives, then who's the author? Is it the you that actually experienced it in the messy reality of the moment, or the you that remembers it today? I want you to take that question with you. Keep questioning the fabric of your own reality and that incredible storytelling mind that weaves it all together. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.